Hello guys, thank you for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. You're beautiful, all of you. I'm Vance Dykes, and I'm making this video because I want to talk about something that I feel I really need to talk about, and it's in regards to Native Americans in our country nowadays. So I want to start off by saying that from what my family has told me over the years, I am part Native American. Basically, some of our family comes from the Native American tribes, the Cherokee tribe and the Powhatan tribe, just to name a few. I think those are the only two. Basically, and I only rarely bring it up. You know, I'll bring it up every now and then. And when I mention that I am part Native American, the people who I'm talking to, they tell me that they can see it in my facial features. They can see it in my cheekbones. That's what they mainly say. They can see it in my cheekbones, they can see it in my forehead, and they can see it in my eyebrows. Unfortunately, I'm not good at identifying facial features. That's how naive I am. But basically, so because of my Native American heritage, I wanted to do some research, and I've been looking at videos on YouTube in regards to Native Americans, and usually what I found on YouTube were basically these Native American individuals who protest against people, coincidentally white, maybe not so coincidentally, people who protest against illegal immigration. So you got these people who are protesting against illegal immigration, and then you got these Native Americans, obviously liberals, coming out of nowhere, pretty much saying that you know, the white people who are protesting against illegal immigration, saying that you guys are the real illegal immigrants because you came over to this country 400 years ago and you stole our land from us. You know, I'm not going to deny that, you know. I'm not going to deny that, but you know something? In those days, we didn't have an immigration system where we actually took the time to sit down and decide, okay, we need to figure out, you know, this person who's coming into this country, you know, should we allow them? Do they have ill intentions? Are they going to hurt innocent people, whether they're white or Native American or black, you know, whatever. We didn't have that system in those days. We didn't. As time went on, as we progressed into the 20th and 21st century, that was when we really needed an immigration system to really make sure that illegal immigrants didn't come into this country, that people would not come into this country who have ill intentions, like they want to hurt innocent people, whether they're white or native or black or brown or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? And as I watch these videos, as I watch these Native Americans just basically protesting against, you know, the people who are protesting against illegal immigrants, you know, I find myself thinking, okay, sir or ma'am, let me ask you a question. Do you want people from other countries coming into this country who have ill intentions, who want to cause you more harm than what white people did in the 1700s and 1800s against you, your people? Do you know what I'm talking about? You know, do you really want a criminal from Mexico, you know, the drug cartel? Do you really want someone from the drug cartel in Mexico to come into this country to rape and kill a member of your family, like maybe your daughter or your wife or your cousin or something like that? Do you really want that to happen? And another thing, you know, do you really want radical Islamic terrorists, you know, religious zealots who are probably 1,000 times worse than any Christian zealot, any radical Christian will ever be? Because, you know, I don't deny that, you know, radical Islamic terrorists view all of us who do not practice the Muslim faith as infidels. And unfortunately, in the 1800s and the 1700s, you know, white people would look at Native Americans as infidels themselves because they did not embrace the Christian God. They did not embrace Jesus Christ. And basically what they did was they pretty much forced them to practice the Christian religion and basically forbade them from practicing their Native American rituals because they viewed them as paganistic. So basically, in a manner of speaking, yes, there were Christians who regarded Native Americans as infidels. But basically, you know, if you're going to stand up against people who protest illegal immigration, basically protesting radical Islamic terrorists coming into this country to cause us harm, you know, you're pretty much allowing history to repeat itself. It's just this time it's a different religious group. It's a different religious group. It really makes no difference. There are religious people out there who consider us as infidels because we don't practice their religion. We don't hold to their values. So when you're protesting against people who protest against illegal immigration, you're basically saying, I say, let's let them come into this country. Let them come in. You know, the Native Americans who protest against people who protest against illegal immigration, they're basically saying, let the radical Islamic terrorists come into this country and treat us no differently than the Christians treated us in the 17 and 1800s. You know, where is the common sense? This is one of those areas where I really do feel like that these people, you know, they're letting their emotions cloud their judgment. Yes, what happened in the past is terrible, but newsflash, it's in the past. It's over with. It's done. Now, I'm not saying we should forget the past. We should not forget the lessons that we learned from the past, but what we need to do is take what we've learned and bring what we've learned with us into the future. We need to start working for a better future. We're progressing into a new future, and we need to do everything that we can to make sure that it's a bright future. And part of doing that is letting go of the pain, letting go of the negative emotions, stop letting our emotions get the best of us, and just work forward toward a brighter future. A future filled with diversity. Diversity, basically, where all of us, whites, blacks, natives, Indians, all of us, we all come together as one. It amazes me. It just really gets to me. It really gets to me that people would let their emotions get the best of them to where they would make these stupid decisions just not thinking about what they're really saying, what they're protesting against. You know, protesting against people who are protesting against letting more radical religious people come into this country and letting criminals from other countries come into this country to rape and kill our wives, daughters, granddaughters. I don't understand the thought process in regards to that. I really don't. And another thing that I want to mention is that coincidentally or not so coincidentally, these Native Americans are protesting against white people who are protesting against illegal immigration. You know, don't you think that's racism right there? Basically, you've got Native Americans who are bashing white people. That's racism. You know, if you watch these videos on YouTube, you'll realize that what these Native Americans say to white people, you know, they're just... That's another thing that I wanted to bring up. You know, they always say, oh, you killed us. You know, you killed us, you drove us off our land. You know, talking to us as if we are those people who actually did it. Like if I'm George Custer, if I'm Lieutenant General George Custer, or if a white person to whom this Native American person is yelling at is if that white person is Lieutenant General George Custer. You know, just saying, you killed us. You killed us. You should go back home to where you belong. You know, if a Native American was to say that to me, what I would say is, first of all, don't talk to me like that. Don't you dare tell me that this is not my homeland, because this is my homeland. I was born in the United States. I was born in Pontiac, Michigan on December 27th, 1990. Long after whatever happened in the past happened. Whatever happened between Sitting Bull and Lieutenant General George Custer and all the other white people, the Blue Coats and the Native Americans, the Sioux. You know, I was born long after all of that. Long after Squanto, long after the Pilgrims coming to this country, long after the white people pushing Native Americans off of their homeland into reservations. I was born long after all of that. So, as far as everyone else in the world is concerned, whether in the United States of America or elsewhere throughout the entire world, I am an American. This is my homeland. So don't tell me to pick up and go back to whatever European country that I came from, whether if it's Ireland or Holland or England or Italy or Spain, wherever. Don't tell me to do that. And second of all, like I said, I was not there when all this stuff happened. I was not in the 1700s. I was not in the 1800s. I was not there when General Custer killed those innocent Native Americans. I was not there when all those things happened. So don't you dare blame me for something that someone else did in the past. And I think the reason why Native Americans blame white people today is because they're the only people that they can blame. The real white people who were racist towards Native Americans, who were prejudiced against their views and beliefs, who killed them for the sake of gaining land in the United States. You know what I mean? Those white people, such as Lieutenant General George Custer, they're all dead. So they can't really blame them. And I'm pretty sure that no one can actually go to General Custer's grave and maybe pee on it. I'm sure that's considered a federal crime. You know, I don't know where General George Custer is resting now. I don't know. But basically what I'm trying to say is that, you know, the Native Americans nowadays, they're going to blame white people now for what other white people did in the past. And that's just wrong. That's wrong. That's racism and prejudice right there. And you know, that is something that I've learned in this world as an adult. That you don't have to be a white person to be racist, you know? You don't have to be a white person to be racist. You can be a black person and be racist towards a white person. You can be a Native American and be racist toward a white person, you know? You know, people who are not whites, you know, people who are not white, you know, like you got this black person, you got this Mexican person, you know, they can be racist against each other. So it's not just, racism is not just a white thing. It's almost an every person thing. You know, you can be a Mexican and be racist. You can be black and be racist. You can be Asian and be racist. You can be Filipino and be racist. You can be Chinese and be racist. It really makes no difference. If you see yourself as somehow superior to other races, you're a racist. And these Native Americans who say, you did this, reality is no, they didn't do it. It was other white people in the past who did it hundreds of years ago. You know, you did this to us. You know, this should be our land. And you are right. You know, this land is your land. This land is my land. You know, we should share this land together now. What happened in the past is done. We need to embrace each other now and work together towards a brighter future. You know, I can go on all day. I can go on all day. But basically, I think I've laid out everything on the table. And I really hope that all of you who are watching this video, whether if you're white or Native or Indian or Mexican or black, whatever, you know, I really hope that you have listened to what I have said. You know, you read in between the lines of everything that I have said, and you are taking them to heart, you're taking them into consideration. And I really do hope that if we all come together and start working together, we can actually help build a brighter future. We can build a society, we can build a whole community of people from many different areas of life. You know, a community filled with white people and Native Americans and black people and Mexicans and Filipinos and Japanese, you know, and we all love each other, we all embrace each other, and we are a generation and a community of peace, learning from the mistakes of our forefathers throughout history. So that's all that I wanted to say. Once again, thank you for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. Goodbye and God bless in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. And no, I will not keep it in church. God bless.